Oh, hey, welcome back to another episode of Ames Tonight. As always, I'm Jim, and I'm like the only person in the studio right now. I don't know, what's going on. So, I guess, welcome to the show. I think the only thing to do in this sort of situation is, bring out the Ames Tonight call. So let me introduce to you a little something we like to call the Ames Tonight call.
You called?
All right, there we go. It works. It works.
It does.
Welcome to the Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Nothing much, honestly.
All right,
Kind of forgot what the light looked like for a little bit, but I'm glad you called.
Oh, we were. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
something about house arrest, complicated story.
Always something new. Always something new.
I like to keep it fresh.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of fresh, a lot's been going on in the world,
Yeah.
but particularly since we like to talk about this kind of stuff, superhero movies.
Hey, they're everywhere.
Yes, they are, and one of them is actually coming out this week. Can you tell me?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
That is the one.
It's coming.
So, what do you think? Like, are you excited? Are you pumped for it?
Not really. You see, it's not that I don't think the movie's going to be bad. It's just, how do you live up to Infinity War? Like Ant-Man and the Wasp, not a bad movie. Compared to Infinity War, it just feels underwhelming, honestly. It's just, I just don't see the draw for me to go there. There's nothing that's really getting me going besides young Nick Fury and seeing Captain Marvel in action. Besides that, there's not really a lot that has me invested in the movie, personally.
They've confirmed that there's a cat in it.
I think the rating from a 2.5 star just went to a 3.5, Jim.
All right,
You've
all right. Out of
swayed
5?
me.
Out of 5?
Out of 5, yes.
Out of 5.
Yes.
Okay. What would you say if I told you that Captain Marvel is definitely gonna punch an old lady in the face? Almost certain.
4.5 stars.
4.5
Jim.
stars.
4.5
all right.
stars.
There we go.
I think you've emotionally invested me enough into this movie
Sweet.
for me to come and watch it, and I will pay honest money for it. I will bring my ticket when it comes out.
So what exactly would it take to get you like super excited for a movie after Avengers: Infinity War, or even after Endgame, which is coming out later this year?
It's going to be pretty hard, honestly. I think what the superhero movie genre forgot is when you do something that big, when everything else in turn looks small, it's no longer as good anymore. Like it just doesn't seem as grand. Now that everyone's met, you're like, well, how come they don't call this person or this person? It just kind of creates a little bit more plot holes. But personally, I think if you want to do it, you just can't really worry about that too much. You just have to make it story-driven. You can't rely on just mindless violence and action, despite what it needs to be. You need it to be a good, strong movie. Good characters. One of my favorite ones is when you take a character with some useless powers, it seems like, and then make them into one super cool, super cool hero with having, minuscule to meaningless powers, but seeing them use it in such a way, you just need something unique, and sometimes that's the selling point.
Definitely sounded like you were gonna say Ant-Man in there.
I did?
So
I guess a little bit. You kind of got to do like an Ant-Man, Well,
Yeah.
Ant-Man's unique, It's more of like it's more of like a heist film almost.
That's
just
true,
with
that's true.
superpowers.
Yeah.
Well, super suit, I guess.
Yeah.
If we're being technical.
So I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So like, what are some like weird superpowers that you would want to?
What kind of
See in
weird
the
supers
theaters.
would I like to see in the theaters?
Yeah, like
Well,
what's one? Just
Well,
right off
let's
the top
just
of your
one
head.
off the top of my head. How about someone who has the ability to teleport from home to work, but only in those 2 instances? Imagine just your regular everyday Joe who's late for the millionth time, and then at 7:59 before he's supposed to clock in at 1 minute, he's in the office, ready with the coffee and donuts.
Oh,
That'd
wow.
be pretty cool.
He can teleport the
He's-
coffee
he
and
just-
donuts,
he-
too?
Yeah, whatever he is holding at the time, he can just teleport himself as long as he's grabbing it to the building, but only to that building.
All right.
You know, it's just almost like a mediocre superpower, but
Yeah.
very convenient in everyday life.
It
Just
would be.
Not really. I mean, I guess if someone broke into your house, it'd be a good way to get away and call the cops, but
That's true.
you know, or you could just, teleport, someone to the business or something. Carpooling would, that'd save gas. Carpooling would be amazing if his secret ever got out. Everyone would just knock on his door at 7:59. He'd grab their hands and just, boom,
Yeah.
right into the building.
Be like Nightcrawler. In,
Yeah, I know, just extremely mundane
Apocalypse.
Nightcrawler, yes.
Yes, because he
Yeah.
can only do it right in certain situations.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of like this one superhero I created back in high school. It's called the Dust Whisperer.
Ooh.
And so basically, I mean, he's able to talk to dust and like have it listen to him. He knew the
That's pretty
language and
good.
stuff. But like sometimes the dust wouldn't listen to him, and so it kind of went and did its own thing. Also, it's dust, so it's like an inanimate
It's
thing.
not living.
So it's kind of useless per se, but like he can kind of make it like gather and do stuff sometimes if
That's
the dust
cool.
is like
If
feeling.
it wants to.
feeling like-
Only
yeah.
if it wants to.
But one of his main character flaws was that he was allergic. He had a dust allergy.
Ooh, dust allergy.
So
Yeah,
it made it a little bit difficult to kind of like
yeah.
through that
Yeah, I get
situation.
that.
But yeah, it was
That's
it was
pretty
a fun
unique.
idea.
I think
yeah.
that'd be a fun idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just imagining, you can't get that dust bunny, and if you can just tell it, hey, I'll put you somewhere different if you move closer to me, and then if it wants to, it'll move over. But if it knows that you're lying and you're actually just gonna throw it away, it'll just go farther in the couch where you can't reach it.
Yes, that that would be very upsetting.
It would be very upsetting.
Well, any others that you?
Well, I always find myself falling asleep in class,
Okay.
always being bored. So imagine, I was watching a documentary in my journalism class about a war reporter, and while it was interesting,
Yeah.
it was I wish I was watching something else. So
Okay, all right.
I imagined, what if you could remember any movie you had watched just from your brain, and you could turn on a little projector in your head, and you're in a movie theater all by yourself, and you could just watch the movie all within your own little brain. Now, the only problem is the movie will always start with Space Jam unless you pick one. That is the default movie option, is
All
Space
right.
Jam.
So if you don't have one in mind at that moment, it is
Space Jam will just start playing.
I mean, I'd be down with that.
I'd be down with that too.
That'd just welcome
on,
to the
son.
jam. Yeah.
Welcome to the jam. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and so if you're bored, you could always just like turn the projector off and just listen to Space Jam while you're in class. Only problem is
Interesting.
your grades are probably going to take a plummet, and you're also not really aware of what's going on around you, so you're like focused watching the movie. So say if a fire breaks out in the room, if you're not paying attention, you should probably turn off the projector
That-
and
yeah,
look.
that
You
would
should
be-
probably be aware of your surroundings every once in a while.
Yeah.
Probably.
It almost kind of reminds me of like the that scene in Get Out where like she does the thing with
You're
the
right,
spoon,
with,
and
like,
then
the-
and then
yeah.
he's like inside his own head, in, like
Yeah.
that dark space, and that's kind
Yeah.
of what it sounds like to me almost.
Crazy,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
that'd be-
it'd be like that, except it's only a movie theater. Can't eat though, because food is like physical and then not like abstract. It's not memory or anything. You can remember eating food, you just will still be hungry the whole time. So
Dang.
yeah, that's the only downside.
Yeah. I guess one that's coming to mind is like you have super speed, so like you're the Flash,
Ooh.
but you get tired about the same distance that like a regular person would
So
after sprinting.
all right.
So like you could get from here to like Beardshear Hall in like a second.
But you'd be exhausted by the end. 'Cause
you
it'd
would
be like you were
like,
sprinting.
you would not be able to even walk after that. You would just be
You just fall over and
Yeah.
collapse, probably.
It would be like an Olympic runner at the end of like a mile run or something like that. It's just like the fastest you have ever gone, and you cannot do anything else.
Yeah, I could get that. That's a good one. That's a good
So
one to
like,
have.
yeah, it would be good for getting out of like really quick sticky situations. But if you were like on the run and you really
Oh,
needed
no,
to get
no,
out,
you're getting out.
you.
Imagine how sweaty you would be when you're done with that.
Oh gosh,
Oh.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
Imagine if, like, no matter how much you sweat and like how dirty you got, You never had to clean, though. You know, you were just always smelled nice. You never had to sweat. You just looked good, you smelled good, and you didn't get any dirt on you. You were just clean.
So it's like you almost like sweat, like maybe Febreze or something.
Yeah,
like,
and then like it just like dries after a while. It's more of like a glow, and then all of a sudden it just like evaporates and disappears, and you're okay. You don't have your pit stains. You don't have, you don't smell like a rhinoceros butt. You know, you just smell good, like fruits and flowers and newborn babies and whatever good smells smell like.
Do you often smell like a rhinoceros butt after you sweat?
Normally, I think it's what I eat.
Are you saying you eat?
No, I eat rhinoceros steaks, and that is
Oh.
that is
All right,
not
okay.
a good food. I didn't realize that I had to buy in bulk, and so I decided I hated it after the first bite. But now I don't have a choice anymore.
Right.
So.
I will say that is, I'm almost certain illegal. So.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably nothing I should be admitting online, but
That's, you
a
know,
little late now.
we
but
like to get the
it's all
truth
right.
here.
Yeah.
at
I mean, it's just another thing to
ISTV.
tack on to the house arrest. So.
You know, that's fair. That's
I have
fair.
been modeled. That's why I'm still here. You know, I haven't left.
Since like
2 weeks ago? Yep. 2 weeks ago. Still haven't left. Getting to classes has been interesting. I've debated just pulling a move from Saw and just cutting off part of my leg and just leaving the ankle bracelet there, but nope.
Yeah, that doesn't
can't
sound
do
like
it.
it's worth
No,
it.
every time I do it, I pass out before I get the courage enough to do the action,
Yeah.
and so I just fall down on the ground, and then I try again when I wake up, and that's basically what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll continue this conversation after a short little break. Looks
Yeah.
like we're taking up
We'll
a little
take
bit
a
of
little bit
time.
of break.
So
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We'll see you after the break. Peace.
If you have powers to turn anything into mashed potatoes, you know, you solve world hunger. No one wants to mess with you if you show that you can turn anything to mashed potatoes. That what kind of life is it if you're turned into mashed potatoes? I think that's the best. That's the best superpower, honestly, of all the things that haven't been taken. Be like
You know?
Thanksgiving every day.
That's true. It almost sounds too powerful though, because like, if you think about it, if the Avengers had like that specific hero during the
Yeah.
movie,
Thanos.
like,
You could just
Thanos
turn the
is just a potato. He kind of looks like a potato.
You're
right.
right,
now.
you could
more
just
of a
turn-
grape, but like some sort of food.
yeah. It's just like he just turns into mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
But I think the better thing would
It's
be
like-
the Infinity Gauntlet, though. Like he just mashed potatoes.
Ooh, that's true.
Hand-
that's
no,
true.
he's got to
Oh,
wash
then
his
he's
hands.
got a mess,
Yeah,
yeah,
then he's
yeah.
got to wash his hands.
Gotta pause
he's
the
like,
battle
Yeah,
so
he's
he
like,
can,
oh,
like,
I
yeah.
got mashed potatoes on my hand. Then,
You're so
then
right.
The Spider-Man can just pow, get him,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have to die.
All right, that's
Spoiler
fair.
alert.
That's fair.
If you
Wait.
still haven't seen it. Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So anyway, now that we've had all that superhero talk, you know what I've really noticed?
What's that?
We've been doing this show together for a pretty long time, but
Yeah, we have.
we don't know a whole lot about each other, do we?
No, you're right, Jeff. Jim.
There it is. Yes.
Jim. You're right, Jim.
Yeah.
We don't know a lot about each other.
Yeah, like every week you seem to be like either stuck in the dungeon or like going and stealing rocket ships from NASA.
Yeah, I like to keep my life very private. I'm not very open about what I do and the kind of activities that I partake in. I'm a very secluded person, so I think I should open up a
Yeah.
little bit. I think you're right.
You know what would be maybe a fun game?
Oh, what's that?
We'll go back and forth, like saying some different stories of ours, and then we'll guess if that's like a true story.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah,
a
I like
fake
that.
story.
I like that. We should
Yeah.
do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first or me?
You know what? I'll go first.
All right, go for it.
I want to tell you the tale of the longest night. Now, this was an event that happened when I was a child. My little brother was sleeping in a different room. I slept in bunk bed. I was on the bottom bed. My brother was on the top bed.
Top bed.
When this happened, my older brother actually had bronchitis.
Oh no.
And he also had the flu. So he ended up throwing up all over the wall. and it ran down, and I slept next to the wall, so it got all over the back of my head. I didn't wake up from this. My older brother kept pounding on the wall and trying to say, "Ryan!" like that, but since he had bronchitis, he couldn't say anything. Eventually, the pounding woke up my mother and father, and they were able to determine that I had throw up all over myself, so they thought I had thrown up. So they woke me up, cleaned me off, and then they checked on Nathan to find out that it was him who was actually pounding on the wall and was being sick. So they had to drag him out of the bed, was afraid he was dying, so we took him to my grandmother to make sure he was okay. Turns out he had tuberculosis, and we didn't sleep at all that night. Now, is that fact or fiction, Jim?
I'm going to go fact. That just sounds like way too many details to be...
It is actually fiction.
Dang it.
While an event very similar happened to my life, my brother did have bronchitis and he did throw up on the wall. None of it did end up on me, and we never actually visited Grandma. Grandma came to visit us.
Oh, all right.
I kind of played a tricky one on
Oh,
you,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll try and refrain
It's an
from that.
interesting
from now.
way to start.
Yeah.
So here's one for me. So this one time I was on a camp out. It was at the Porcupine Mountains up in Wisconsin. And so we're just kind of like trekking along or whatever, and it's the last day or so. We were up there for like a week, and we ended up staying on this really cool kind of campground that overlooked a cliff, and so it was really nice, and I couldn't sleep at all, really. I got maybe like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. I woke up like 6 in the morning, and the cloud formation that had formed over the cliffs was just breathtakingly beautiful, and I literally sat there and looked at the clouds for like an hour or two, just straight, like not really doing anything else. I just sat, pondered life, just really embraced the beauty of nature, and then everyone else started waking up, and we decided to get going, like get ready to move on out. So we start trekking out. I'm falling a little bit behind, so I get everything packed up for myself, and then I kind of go off following them. But I'm a little bit further, so I can't really see where any of them are going through the forest back. So I get like pretty much like halfway back to the parking lot or whatever, and there's this little weird fork in the trail, and I'm like, I'll just go this way, I guess. And I end up somehow at the side of a cliff, like edge of a cliff. And I don't know how I got there, because there were trees surrounding me, and I don't know like which way I came through, but like I did not see a reasonable way of how to get back to the trail. So I kind of grabbed onto a pine tree and like swung myself around it over the cliff to get back to the trail and go back and find the people I was with.
You know, I would say that was fiction, but I can't help but feel that the heart-touching story about the cloud formation makes it real. Is it a real story? I think it's real.
It is a real story. You know, nature's beautiful. You gotta sit down and appreciate it.
I
once in
love
a while.
nature.
It
There's
is, yeah.
one thing in nature I despise, but besides that,
I think I know what you're referring to, but
yes.
Anyway.
Snow. And raccoons.
There it is. There it is. That's
Two
what I
things.
was. Okay,
Two
cool,
things.
cool. Yes.
Both of which we still have not solved. Anyway, going on, there was one of my stories. When I was in high school, I was part of the speech program. And for one of my events for acting in All-State individual speech, I once went to All-State doing nothing but a Scottish impression. The whole time up there, I did an acting piece that required the role, and I did it so well that I was chosen above many other people to go to All-State and get a medal.
I've never heard you do a Scottish accent before, so that makes it a little tricky. I'm just gonna go false.
You got to be kidding me, lad. I did.
Oh my gosh. I am
it's
horrible
not
at
as
this
good
game.
as it was a few years ago,
Yes,
but
yes.
I still have the Scottish accent within me. I think it
Nice.
runs in the blood somewhere.
That is fantastic.
But I practiced for a very long time, and I did make it all the way to All-State. And
All right.
we don't do placings for individual, but I did get a medal. It was very happy.
Solid.
I unfortunately couldn't do it my senior year. I fell out around the divisional area right away. I'm a little salty about it, but I'm glad I got my junior year to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't even know how to respond to that. Okay, so one for me. I was over in Ireland this past summer on an internship, and so it's the 4th of July, and my friends and I who were there, it was like a whole program, so there were a ton of other Iowa State students with us. So we're all like, hey, it'd be fun to go to the beach or something for the 4th of July, have like a little picnic, go to the beach, do all this stuff. So we head on out, go down to Dunleary. Very lovely place if you've never been, which, I mean, have you been to Ireland?
I have not. I'm not allowed to leave the country anymore.
Right,
so.
right, house arrest,
Yep.
yes. But
Not before
anyway.
that, but yeah.
Well, oh,
I'm on a no-fly list.
Oh,
so
okay,
I'd have to be
yes,
smuggled
yes.
over.
just like those turtles from the,
Yeah.
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 We'll tell you more about that later. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so we're at the beach, and me and a couple other friends find a bunch of like rocks like leading out into the ocean for like, like 50 feet or so. So we decided to like hop on over there and just like get to the edge of the water and stuff and just kind of relax. And so while we're over there, I have my like hand in my phone, like recording all this stuff because it's really cool. And, because I enjoy nature and whatnot. And so at one point, I like was kind of slipping, and I waved my arms up in the air, and my phone went flying up, and it landed down between some of the rocks. And so I reached my hand down as fast as I could, grabbed it, nothing happened to the phone.
What?
Perfect. Perfectly fine.
That's false. There's no way you would have gone to an Ireland beach. It's too cold.
I did, but that story did not happen to me. It happened to one of the guys I was living with. So
All right,
it was
so
pretty crazy.
I guessed
but
correctly,
anyway,
but for the wrong reasons.
yeah, so all right, I feel like we know a little bit more about
I think
each other.
so too.
Yeah,
I think so too, Jim.
I
Yeah.
feel more comfortable
Yeah.
like hosting
A little bit
this
more,
show
yeah.
more with you. So
Yeah.
all right, well, we'll be back with more Ames Tonight after this break.
Yep. See you later.
Hello, it's me, Matt, and I'm back here with the news. A mail investigation from the Philippines found more than 1,500 turtles duct taped together and stuffed in a suitcase. And I thought snail mail was bad. This has been a problem in the Philippines for a long time. That is just now coming to the light on a national stage. I'm just glad the cat's finally out of the bag, or rather, the turtle's out of the suitcase. This man televised recently that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Who is Alec Trebek? Okay, next news story for 600. Target is launching a new line of bras directed towards teens, where Victoria's Secrets and other brands use ultra-thin models to advertise their bras. Target will use women of a broad range of sizes to market their Target product. Target's stock is expected to take a push-up from this decision. A 65-year-old Israeli diamond trader died during a penis enlargement surgery, thus proving diamonds are not a girl's best friend. ISU TV, it's been a while since I've been back. It's been a long time since I've been back. And honestly, ISU TV, it's great to be back. I've been a member of this organization for 4 years now, and I left you. And it'd be my honor if you guys would open up your heart and let me back into the ISU TV family. When I first came to ISU TV as a young freshman, I was nervous and afraid. I made a lot of foolish decisions, okay? And we broke up in recent years. And I really want to right my wrongs. ISU TV has been a family for me, you know? Andrea Safar, Laurel Feeks, Megan Moran, Taylor Claybon, this guy, Julian Neely, who we had to kick out of club because he kept yelling on the teleprompter. He's going nowhere. What's this? He's student body president now? What? Okay, well, I guess my ISU TV family's doing just another update. Oh, none of them are members? I guess I'm just irrelevant. ISU TV, it'd mean a whole world to me. I know we split, I know we left, But I'm coming back, and I know I'm scrappy and I look like I'm homeless, but please, can you find it in your heart to let me back, ISU TV?
What'd you say your name was again?
Jim!
Thank you, everybody, for watching Ames Tonight. We'll be back next week.